Hey guys, Hackexploit here, back again with another video. Welcome back to the BlackArch series. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to change your screen resolution and how to install various desktop environments. So after installing BlackArch Linux for the first time, you need to get it set up to the way you want it to be and the way you want it to function. And by default, as I mentioned, the desktop environments that it does come with, or rather the tiling window managers that it comes with, are Spectre. We have Spectre first of all. We have OpenBox, Fluxbox, which is the default one, Awesome, and i3. Now, of course, you can change the default one within the configuration, but our main objective here is to understand how everything works. Now, I have covered how the fact or the differences between a tiling window manager and a desktop environment. With a desktop environment, you get a much better feature set in regards to the amounts of functionality you can do with the graphical user interface. So it's more about user experience and performance. But of course, many of you who use tiling window managers will argue that it's much more efficient to use tiling window managers, and it's much more efficient to use keyboard shortcuts and key maps rather. So again, it's all up to you. If you are if you do want to use the i3 tiling window manager, by all means go ahead. I'll be making independent videos on how to customize them as well if you guys want to see those videos. But for now, let's just talk about a few things here. All right, so I'm going to log in with I can actually just log in with my root because I want to be doing a few important things here. So I'm just going to log in, and by default, you can see we're using Fluxbox, as I mentioned, right? So you can configure Fluxbox to however you want it to look and function, but that's not the goal here. The first thing you might realize is we cannot change the screen resolution. That's because we're using a tiling window manager. If we want to play around with that, and because we are in a VM and we haven't installed the VMware tools yet, which I'll be making a separate video on because it does require that, it is not scaling the resolution. So by default, we are in 800 by 600. So the only way to change this is by using xrender. Now, xrender is an abbreviation, or is a configuration utility for the render, which is an abbreviation for resize and rotate. So this allows us to essentially resize and rotate our windows. So again, using render is extremely easy, or xrender. I have to make sure there's a clear distinction there because there is one. It's extremely easy. So if I just type in xrender here, so let me just type in and hit enter, what you will be greeted by are the various displays you have connected. So for example, we have screen 0, which is the screen I'm currently connected to. If you are running this, if you have this installed directly on hardware and you're running this and you have more than one monitor, it'll display the options available for that particular monitor. So you can see that the current resolution is exactly as I mentioned, 800 by 600. The maximum it can go up to is 8192 by 8192. So again, these are the various resolutions you can use on this screen, and it will resize it accordingly. So how do we resize it accordingly? Now, I know I'm running this in a VM, so the scaling will not be perfect. That's something to take into consideration. Now, after I install the VM tools, it will be scaling correctly. But irregardless, once we install the desktop environment, you can then scale much more easier. So I will scale this. Let's see, if I wanted to scale this to 1280 by 960, no, let's try 1280 by 1024. So to do that, I would type in xrender. I use the screen option here, or the screen parameter. The screen is screen 0 right over here, and we now are specifying the size, right? So the size is going to be 1280 by 1024. So 1280 by 1024, and I'm going to hit enter, and I should have resized the video now, and you should be seeing this in 1280 by 1024. So yeah, that is essentially how to use xrender to resize. Now, of course, you can resize it to whatever you want. Now, for more flexibility with all of this, I recommend installing a desktop environment. So I'm going to be showing you how to install the various desktop environments available to you. So the first desktop environment you might want to install is GNOME. So there's GNOME, XFCE, KDE, and Mate. Those are pretty much the best ones I would recommend installing. Now, installing them is very, very simple. I'm only going to be installing XFCE, but I'll be showing you the various commands that you can use to install all the rest. So let's start with GNOME. All right, so to do this, we're going to type in sudo pacman, of course, and we're using the S, and we're going to say GNOME. Let's say GNOME and GNOME extra, right? We want to install all the extras, and that you simply type in enter, and that's going to install it for you. Now, before doing that, I recommend synchronizing your package databases. So again, we'll wait for this to synchronize because we are going to be installing XFCE anyway. So we'll just wait for this to synchronize. And there we are. Should be synchronized any moment now. Always good thing to synchronize first so you get the latest packages. Now, talking about latest packages, another good thing is to also install an LTS kernel, which I'll be showing you how to do as well. That'll keep things nice and stable. And I hope maybe I will actually consider using BlackArch for a variety of videos just to show you that it really is an excellent distribution, because I have used Kali before and ParaTOS as well. All right, so we have synchronized our package databases. So let's talk about XFCE. So let's install XFCE right now. All right, so sudo pacman s, and we're typing XFCE 4. That's the latest version. And we also want to install XFCE. What was the package called? We want, was it the DevTools? No, it was the goodies, I remember. Is the goodies package still available? Not sure it's there anymore. So let's just install XFCE 4 and let's hit enter. All right, so it's going to prompt us to install all of these the various extras here. So for example, you have XO, you also have Thunar, the Thunar file manager, so we don't have to install that again or right now. It also comes, yes, so this contains everything that we'll need. So I'm just going to hit enter. I'm not sure what happened to the goodies package. So let me just scroll to the bottom here with the VM so you can see what's going on. So proceed with installation. Yes, we want to proceed and hit enter. And I'm going to wait for this to start downloading and installing. And I'll get back to you when this is done. All right, so XFCE is completed installing successfully. So that is how to install XFCE. Very, very simple. Let's talk about Mate. Installing Mate is very, very simple again. Let me just go back up here. Should have actually stuck to the default resolution, but in any case, we can just install it. So installing Mate is very simple. So again, sudo pacman s mate, and we have the Mate, I believe. What was the other package called? Mate common. We need to I don't think it does come with the extras anymore. Yeah, so it doesn't come with the extras. So again, you can just use the Mate. You can just use Mate by default and hit enter, and that should install Mate for you. And of course, I know we're going to always have some KDE fans in the comment section, always getting on me, getting on my back about not covering how to install KDE, and that's again extremely simple. So sudo pacman s, and that is Plasma. That's the latest version, and of course you can use that as well. All right, so that is essentially how to install any of these desktop environments. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reboot now, and I'm going to boot back into the login screen, and we'll specify XFCE so that we can actually customize it a little bit. So I'm just going to reboot, and I'll get back to you when it has rebooted. All right, so we're back onto the login screen, and we can now specify our desktop environment. So I'm going to go for XFCE here, and the user is going to be root, and let me enter my password and hit enter, and we should be taken into the XFCE desktop environment now. So we're going to give that a few seconds to set up if this is your first time. So there we are. Looks like we have a few issues with the color here, or the theme. So we'll just use the default configuration there. I don't know whether you could see that, and there we are. So welcome to XFCE 4. It has a nice little dark theme to it, which is excellent. So if we just open up applications here, I do want to change a few settings first of all. So we want to change our resolution here, which for some reason is dark here. So again, we can just change it to something like 1280 by 1024, and we can hit apply. And let me just close this up, I don't know whether you can actually see that. So in the BlackArch menu, you can see that we have the various tools here. Now I'll be making an additional video probably at the end of the series where I cover how to display or how to get all the various tools displayed, because as you can see, not a lot of the tools are being displayed here. However, if we just take a look at the settings here, we take a look at the appearance, we might want to start configuring. There we are. Let's go for a dark theme here and close that up. And there we are. So welcome to BlackArch running XFCE4. And this really is fantastic, right? So again, we have all our standard controls that you would expect with a desktop environment, and there we are, fantastic. So again, you can run all the stuff that you wanted to run, and it's very easy to navigate. So I like using XFCE because I'm really comfortable with it, and it just gives me a familiar interface that I'm very comfortable with. So again, you can test this out for yourself. If you are comfortable using a tiling window manager, by all means go ahead. And if we just check the file manager it comes with Thunar, which is excellent. I love Thunar. It really is a good file manager. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in this video, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace, guys.